The Office of the Public Protector says it's received about 158 new cases at its head office alone since the restrictions kicked in, including cases of South Africans stuck in various countries who want to be repatriated. The Public Protector and her team were briefing the Justice Committee on its annual performance targets and budget of the office. Now, due to the proposed budget cuts, the office may not be able to reach its targets. To speak to us a bit more on COVID-19 and its effects on the Public Protector's office, as well as how they're dealing with the lockdown, we're now joined on the line by Deputy Public Protector Kholeka Gcaleka, who appeared, of course, in front of the committee for the first time since her appointment in January. Thanks very much for your time, Kholeka. Welcome to the AM report. I mean, in some instances, you've been reported as saying that, the cases that have emerged during the pandemic have been an eye-opener for you. What did you mean by that?
Good morning, Ayanda, and good morning to the viewers. What I mean by that is that out of the 158 cases that we have received during the period of the pandemic, 16 of those are COVID-related cases. And out of those cases, the reports are mainly on the bread and butter issues that are affecting communities, such as issues of water, issues of electricity, issues of access to hospitals. So this has actually showed us that, yes, services have been delivered, however, services have not effectively reached the areas at grassroots level in an efficient and effective manner.
And of course, this comes at a time when you're also asked to cut your budget by about 17%. That's a figure of about 57.6 million rand. I mean, how worried are you that that might affect your ability to respond to these cases?
We are very worried about it. As it is, without even the 17% cut, our budget is not sufficient for us to serve the majority of the people who lay complaints with us. Now, this further approximate 58 million reduction will cause adverse effects to our mandate. Especially during this period, as you are aware, we've been declared an essential service, which means that we need to effectively respond to the calls of the people. It is a time that we cannot afford to postpone or to delay responding to the people. And as it is going to affect our footprint.
Of course, one of the big cases that have made it to the news cycle is the saga around the Beitbridge border fence, which involved the infrastructure department as well. Can you give us an idea of how that investigation is going? Because my understanding is that it had been brought to the Public Protector's table as the back and forth about the money spent and whether it was worth it waged on.
The investigation is in progress. The matter has been allocated to an investigator. We are prioritizing the matter. It's one of the matters that really concern us, so it is receiving our utmost priority.
Do you have an idea of when there might be some kind of finality to the issue?
At this stage, I'm unable to tell. As you know, that we do depend on the various state institutions from whom we require information and evidence. And unfortunately, because of the period of COVID as well, the rest of the state has been on a bit of a slowdown. However, we are confident that, as the president has proclaimed, that at least 33% of the workforce can be in offices at a particular time, we will receive a much better response, and it will be quicker. But I can assure you and assure the public that we are intending to deal with this matter as speedily as possible. However, we need to ensure that we deal with it effectively. We are thorough in our investigations so that we have findings if we do find any wrongdoing and remedial actions which are thoroughly investigated.
Of the 150 cases or so that you've mentioned, my understanding is that one of them involves South African citizens who are stranded in Egypt after paying for their flights to come back home during the lockdown regulations. Do you have any idea how far that investigation is going? Give us an idea, essentially, of what you know about the plight of these South Africans.
Thank you. it is actually not the only case that we've received from overseas South Africans who've been stranded. And I must say that South Africans have been extremely frustrated because of the uncertainty of the lockdown. And you can imagine that being especially away from home and you are faced with such a pandemic that is so uncertain and unknown of in the whole globe, it does definitely cause uncertainty, and it is definitely what these South Africans in Egypt have experienced. And we have written to DIRCO in respect of this particular matter, and there was a response to us in respect of this particular matter, and it has been informed that the complainant has also been informed that the public protector has been dealing with the issue, and the feedback that we've received is that the family has arrived back in South Africa on the 23rd of April, together with a group of other South Africans who were stranded in Egypt.
Thanks so much for getting us into the picture as best as you can. Kholeka Gcaleka is the Deputy Public Protector. I appreciate your insights indeed. All right.